Hello and welcome back to Pendor, and we've got a rather hilarious time on our hands. I've just literally been fighting and fighting and fighting as many unique spawns as I can get my hands on, and we have now finally reached, oh yes, the final hurdles. So, to catch you up on what's been going on. Alright, well, as I said at the end of the previous episode, I was going to go and fight those snake cult armies, and yeah, I actually did. I fought one snake cult army first, and then the other two at the same time. So I literally had over 1,000 snake cult troops against me in that one battle. And let me tell you, the main reason why I didn't show you this is because it was too easy. I know. That seems super weird, right? But no, it's actually true. The snake cult is actually not that difficult to deal with any further because most of their forces do not have shields, and if they do, then they are very easily dismounted and killed. And it just so happened that most of the battlefields that I had available to me at the time were ones that were mountainous. They were very, very mountainous indeed, and that obviously made things much, much easier for us. That obviously made it so that the enemy's cavalry could basically do nothing at all. And it was wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful. It was a really, really easy, simple victory for us to go for. I ended up losing about 20 or so troops, and then what was really amazing about it is that after the fact, after I defeated over 1,000 snake cult troops, I actually found 27 biscuit sergeants in the rescued prisoner section. And I actually can't believe that. I can't believe that. Usually I'm not that lucky in regards to rescuing my own CKO troops, but apparently this time around I was. I'm not entirely sure how that even happened, but yes. Anyway, basically my whole MO for fighting these unique spawns. We're fighting a Jatu army at the moment, by the way. But yeah, my whole MO for fighting these unique spawns is for me to literally just stand there. I literally just stand there commanding my troops. That's literally all I do. So in other words, you know, do the horse wall if I need it. Most of the time I'm not using the horse wall. This time around I think I did use it, mostly because we have the Jatu, and obviously, as you know, the Jatu are very well known for having amazing lancing skills, and I would prefer not to lose unnecessary amounts of units against them due to that amazing superpower that they have. Anyway, apart from that, obviously having the ability to command your troops in a more reactionary sense, maybe more proactive as well, certain times, call for different actions, of course, but that can definitely make a huge difference too. So for example, like this, you see my current formation right here. We've got a bunch of people out the front there, and then we have a couple of people at the back. Now, I found that this formation is extremely effective when fighting Jatu. The main reason for this is because of the horse archers that may inevitably get past you. So basically what I try to do is I try to have two separate little formations here, and then my main bulk of force in the center. And that's going to be my main killing potential. And these other ones are highly specialized knight units that, you know, they can basically handle pretty much anything that gets by them. So for example, those guys in the back there, they are primarily designed to eliminate horse archers, just purely because they are not really having a good line of sight on anything else. So that really makes a huge difference too. Anyway, as you can see, we have very easily and quickly eliminated an entire Jatu army. Yeah, so anyway, apart from the snake cult armies that I dealt with, I also had Wolfbode. Wolfbode, of course, as you know him. He was also a fellow... Oh, actually, we haven't actually achieved victory just yet, but I am going to tell my forces just to charge in here. That's also something that I have changed quite dramatically in regards to our strategy. I have made it much more likely for me to be aggressive against these unique spawns, and it has paid off actually very well, surprisingly enough. Usually I wouldn't be charging. Maybe it's a bad idea to actually charge against the Jatu. It very much depends, I think. It depends. I have charged against Mr. Wolfbode. I actually charged against him very early on in the battle against him, by the way, and he had around 800 troops, and I charged against him with a bunch of troops, and it seemed to actually work quite nicely. But as I said, I commanded my troops much more, should we say, much more actively than I normally do in the episodes. And basically what that meant is I would call my forces back. That's a pretty big deal, you know, that's a pretty big deal, because usually when you give a charge order, you never usually want to call your units back, because it does provide the enemy with a lot of openings. And in this case, yes, indeed, that also kind of gave me a couple more casualties than I would have wanted, you know, 4, 5, 6 casualties. Obviously not that dramatic, of course, but there are certain situations where you just have to. And in this case, I was thinking to myself, yeah, you know what? We're overextending way too much. So I thought, okay, we're going to pull back, hold position in this area, and then, yeah, everything was absolutely fine. My biscuit sergeants could actually cover my knights, and I actually kept everyone on their mounts at that point as well, because obviously we weren't fighting against the Jatu. So I was much less likely to use a horse wall to defend ourselves. And, well, long story short, I defeated Wolfbode, I was able to take him prisoner, and I have now told him that he cannot return to Pendor if he knows what's good for him. And that's it. There you go. That's indeed him. He's gone. So that's great, right? That's great. And now all we need to do is find Warlord Zolkar. Yes. Warlord Zolkar has appeared. And yeah, I otherwise, if I hadn't had him spawn, I would have been 100% capable of actually finishing the entire game. So I'm actually yeah, a bit angry at him, to be honest, because I thought I was going to be done, but no. Anyway, let's actually have a look here. I don't need anything from here. I don't think... the Reavers are actually pretty good. Alright, let's move on. So this is where I currently am, as you can see, and I'm pretty sure... Now, what's really annoying me, actually, about the current state of things in my game right now is that the Tavern Keepers... They do not actually provide you with any location for, well, most specifically Warlord Zolkar and Wolfbode for some reason. I have attempted to speak to them multiple times, and the only unique spawn that they're telling me about is, never mind, I found him. Okay, yes, but the only unique spawn that they're telling me about is the Holy Inquisitor Rasmuticus, or whatever his name is. So I'm not entirely sure what's happening with that, but anyway, I actually did just achieve a, I got a new achievement. Let me just show you what that is. Wait a minute, which one? Oh, no, thank you. Is it this one? Guardian of Pendor, is it that one? I'm actually not entirely sure. I think it's that one. Yes, it is indeed that one. So basically, defeating 15 unique spawns can give you the Guardian of Pendor, which gives you +2 intelligence, which is extremely cool in my opinion. Otherwise, as you can see, these are my other achievements right here. I actually find the ability to save a snapshot of your character at the moment of achieving this particular feat, whatever it may be, is absolutely wonderful. Because I don't know whether you've noticed, but look at me right here, winning 25 tournaments. Look at me right now. I'm looking pretty terrible, right? Yeah, I'm looking pretty terrible. And yeah, then obviously we can see a bunch of other things there. Really cool little snapshots of us. And I think that's really nice. Otherwise, apart from that, these are my stats. As you can see, we've got a huge amount of renown, prestige. We've got some decent-ish honor rating. I could obviously have more if I, you know, put my mind to it and actually, you know, went to go and farm some stuff if I wanted to. But otherwise, yeah, our prestige cost isn't going to be too high. And we're just going to go and we're going to fight Mr. Warlord Zolkar. He is the indeed final, and as you can quite clearly tell here, the final army that we need to completely achieve victory in Pendor. I think I've only done this once before, by the way, in the entirety of my time playing Pendor, because in earlier versions, I'm not entirely sure whether I told you about this beforehand, but in earlier versions of the game, as far as I remember at least, or shall we say earlier versions of the mod, because, I mean, it is basically an entirely new game, but, you know, technically it's a mod. But anyway, all I'm saying is, it was a lot more difficult to locate unique spawns than it is now, because unique spawns back then, I don't believe, would actually give you the ability to find them through tavern keepers. So that obviously that makes a huge difference. I mean, it really does make a huge difference being able to find them. That's the reason why I was saying just now that when the tavern keepers don't actually tell me where to go or where to find these fellows, it is very, very difficult to actually locate them. But because I am, you know, in possession of a small amount of intelligence, and I'm talking about, you know, if I was a Warband character, I'd probably have about 8 intelligence, you know. Nothing like Barney here. He's got like, what, 32 intelligence now or something like that, which is actually crazy. But yeah, anyway, the point is, I kind of know where these fellows spawn, because obviously that is pretty obvious, you know, because Warlord Zolkar is indeed a Jatu member, you know, he's part of the Jatu culture, so of course he's going to spawn in Jatu territory. I mean, that makes the most sense, right? And the same thing with Wolfbode as well. I found him just outside of Rain, or actually between Rain and Poinsbrook, and I luckily enough found him due to a patrol of his that was very close by, and that was the main reason why I was actually able to find him, because I'm not sure whether I would have been able to find him otherwise, because he's a pretty small party, hilariously enough, and he moves quite slowly, so it is a little bit difficult to actually see him sometimes, because maybe you think, oh yeah, it just looks like a regular bandit, you know, looks like a regular Mist Mountain bandit army or something like that, or, well, not an army, but, you know, a party. And, yeah, so those are the kinds of things that can indeed happen, and, well, thankfully we were able to track them down this time around. And we're just going to charge. We're just going to be hyper-aggressive here, because basically the enemy can't really do much as long as we have the ability to eliminate his unique units. Unfortunately, he does have quite a few on the field, and they are relatively difficult to pin down, just because they are primarily horse archers, of course. If you can take them off their mounts, then obviously that's a done deal, basically. They're not very hardy, but they do a lot of damage. I don't actually know what their stats are like, but I'm sure that you could probably find that out on the wiki or something like that if you're interested. But yeah, they are probably pretty good at what they do. I just got couch lanced, actually. Don't know whether you saw that, but yeah, I just actually got couch lanced. Thankfully, the fellow was unable to get maximum speed. If he had gotten maximum speed, I would be dead now. So I'm actually pretty happy with this. And this is actually the lowest in HP that I have ever gotten in the entire time that I've been playing right now. Well, or should we say, in my off-screen time, shall we say, because let's face it, I've obviously gotten much lower in HP most of the time otherwise, but yeah, when I was playing off-screen, I basically took, well, less than 10% of my health in damage the entire time when I was going into battles against the Snake Cult and, you know, Jatu armies and so on and so forth. Yeah, it's actually quite funny, because playing as a commander, or should we say playing as more of a commander and less of a field soldier, is so much easier. It really is. You can literally just go in anywhere you like and you basically don't take any damage, because your main concern is, of course, making sure that your own units are doing the most effective job that they can, in comparison to being the person that actually goes in there and deals damage yourself. Because obviously the main reason why I actually go in and deal damage is because it's fun. You know, it's fun to actually go in there with my Sapphire Rune Hammer and my amazing, extremely fast-firing bow and all that wonderful stuff. You know, there's a huge amount of reasons why you would want to go in and actually fight. However, sometimes, you know, as I say, in my off-screen time, I'm just like, yeah, you know what? I'm just going to take a bit of a more relaxed approach to things. And this is actually one of those times when I might actually... you know what? No, never mind. I was going to say, we might actually want to consolidate ourselves a little bit here, but you know what? That's probably not going to make any difference whatsoever, because the enemy is already kind of congregating here as it is. They're all getting stopped by each other. which is obviously great for us. That's very good for us, but, you know, from a, well, from a staying alive perspective, maybe it's not the greatest thing ever, is it? No, but you can see here that this is definitely a done deal, and we are pretty much out of here. That's it. That is definitely going to be a full and complete victory over Pendor, and I just want to take the opportunity to say thank you. To you, you know, to you. Yes, you. Right, sitting right there, standing right there, wherever you are. And thank you very much for joining me on this particular journey, because it has been a long time. It's been about 3 years since I last played Pendor. I actually don't know what I did last time in Pendor. Was it the Iron Man challenge, or was it something else? Because if it was the Iron Man challenge, then, well, if you missed that, you may want to give it a go in a little bit of time. Obviously not right now, because if you've watched this entire series, you may be a little bit tired of Pendor. But maybe if you're not tired of Pendor, maybe you want to give it a chance. It is a very fun experience, but otherwise, I just want to show you my gratitude and appreciation for sticking with me on this series. And there you go, there is Warlord Zolkar. Oh, actually, never mind, he's not dead yet. Now he's dead, and there we have it. Now I can take him prisoner, and we can just tell him, you know what, sir? It is time for you to leave. Yes, it is time for you to leave. And that is exactly what we will do now. Alright. You should return to your homeland and not take up arms ever again. And there he goes. Yes, indeed. Alright. And we can now just level up our forces. I'm obviously not going to level up these fellows just in case we want to go for some more biscuit sergeants and everything. And that's it. And here it is. Here is the achievement. Oh, wow. That's actually amazing. Look at that. And we have now conquered the entirety of Pendor. The Reformation of Pendor has defeated all rivals and stands as the sole kingdom. The prophecy of Madigan has been fulfilled. An alternate probability has been created. And there it is. Okay, that's it. That's it. That is the entire thing done. And we conquered the entirety of this entire land, and we have no one else to fight. Well, technically we have no one else to fight, but I'm going to assume, not entirely sure, are they going to come back? Do they actually come back, or I have no idea, but yeah, there you go. As you can see, we just have the Noldor and all that wonderful stuff, and I don't know whether it's going to be an idea for us to attack the Noldor or not. I have attempted to do that in previous series. I would highly recommend you check out those series if you want to see something like that, because I did go against them in one of the previous ones, you know, one of the previous ones in like, what is it, 3.9.3 or something like that in the Pendor version? I don't know, but basically you can just go through my channel, you search for Pendor, and then you'll see a series of that, and I think I do actually attack the Noldor castle at one point as well, so yeah. Anyway, if you want to see that again, then by all means you can let me know, but I'm not really too interested in doing that, because I think it's actually a very cool little bit to end on here, because as I said, I don't think I've ever received this particular message for uniting the entirety of Pendor and everything, and I thought that was very, very cool and a wonderful note to end on. So once again, I very much appreciate all of your support and sticking with me until the end of this series. And by all means, stay tuned for the next one. Make your suggestions if you so desire. If you have anything that you want to see on the channel going forward, then by all means let me know in the comments. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.